of John Vervaeke's talk with Evan Thompson, but it really was tremendous. I think the recession of modernity is going to mean the eventual abandonment by increasing numbers of people of a physicalist, modernist, materialist ontology. And when there are multiple public ontologies at work, that's when things are going to get wild. And I suspect, listening to Falconer about IFS, I suspect continuous development in the question of UFOs and what those mean. I suspect all of these things are going to sort of break out, and there's going to be an end to a materialist. It doesn't mean an end. There'll be plenty of people still holding to it, but an end to that public materialist ontology. And then we're going to have a situation where civilizations are going to increasingly have to build on some kind of what today looks like a religious substrata. And we're seeing this around the world in the resurgence of Islamism. We're seeing it around the world in India. We're seeing it in China, sort of doubling down on a materialist ontology with their one state, with their one party rule. It's really going to be up for grabs in the West as what comes after secularism.
Did you guys like the way I nailed the title right up front? Right up front. I'm in service to the platform, which is currently providing the means by which you are experiencing the hive mind experience. I made some shorts this morning, one of which was a bonus to today's mind control savings throws for shorts watchers. And as such, if you want to get those bonuses, you can do that, because it's probably going to it takes a while to get started sometimes. Okay. So, since this is welcome. This is After Secularism, a Pauline prophecy, agency in the age of decay, like a hole in the head. It's the name of the thumbnail. Like a hole in the head is the name of the thumbnail. Hey, you got to put your eyeball at the 2/3. Right, this is the bar. Your eyes in here. Anybody trying to do this? Yeah, see where where it puts it is probably fine too. Okay. Oh.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Hello and welcome. Oh, wait, I do enjoy some secular rationalism. Shame to throw it out with all the baby water, says Secarius, but you see, it's anything that's not secular rationalism that will be exercised. It works great. Hey, Phlebas is back. Make modernity great again. Missed you, Phlebas. Afriel says, make modernity meta for the first time. For the first time. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. LARP! We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard. That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay. Welcome. This is the Grimgris stream for May 28th, 2024. Agent Agency in the Age of Decay, also known as After Secularism, a Pauline prophecy. A Pauline prophecy. Welcome, everybody. It's going to be a little blue churchy at the front, and then we'll go up in the indigo at the end. That's, I think, the direction of the stream. Where we'll start with the blue church card of the show. Card of the show from the Blue Church deck is the 5 of diamonds. A fiver. Here's your savings throws for the day. You know how that goes. I give you ones against mind control. There's savings throws against mind control. There's mind control coming at you, commercials and shit. These are like, you get to make a saving against it. Normally you're just subjected to it, but since you watch this stream, you're granted the savings throw. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw. I roll the die. If it's over 10, you made your savings throw and take half damage from the mind control that you're constantly subjected to. But first, now you must choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Survivalist with the Baker's Coven today. That's a 13. Socialist, prime 17. Way to make it. Oh, pairing it up. Wisdom and heart, both with the 7s. There it is, 7s. And 7 for the heart, folks. Indigo. Oh, it's a trinity. No, wait, that's a nat one. You get to see it. Indigo kids, you're in trouble on this one. But that you get to see the die. Congratulations. Welcome, everybody. This is this is what I told my AI art slave. I said head like a hole. No, there was more to it than that. It was like head like a hole in the head. I mean, because you see, there's this matter of vasodilation involved with the sessions, and I've had it turned because, and it's like the same reason that people drill holes in their head is to get more oxygen in there, and increased blood flow increases the oxygen in there, and it allows your brain to function in ways it normally doesn't. And that when so head like a hole in the head. And that's that there. And the agency part will get to over and over again as I'm asking you for money. And that is the Keck Hat logo. That's Denim Wars Denny. And show me your feet. That's Keck Omega. Okay. Says what? Mm-hmm. Remember it.
This agency. We want
Yep. Today's episode, After Secularism, a Pauline prophecy, is one of the classic times when I did what do we call it? An adjunct professing on the homeroom episode. And today's homeroom episode was from a car. So that's fabulous. He's figured out a way to make car videos and add clips to them. It's fabulous. He's quite skilled. Pastor Pauline. Casino deck card of the show, the 4 of spades, digging into it. And so that's what it's coming up next. What?
I'm not a cat.
The struggling to begin is here because the card guy used our magical index card pad with the dot matrix, and that means for some reason on the dot matrix the cards come out insane. We've got one card of titles, one card of timestamps, and the second card of timestamps to close it out, which is that front again, FYI. Okay. So we got quite a show coming up today. Let's get it started with if you have eyes to see, here's the first notable part of homeroom.
This is Paul, still making videos in the car. Finished up watching the Jordan Peterson, Alex O'Connor video today, early this morning, tweeted about it a little bit. The couple of early impressions.
Referencing exit where one made their presencing on the various platforms of participation.
There have been tons of videos. Hi, this is Paul. For the last 5-6 years.
That sounds like something I heard in the Grimgris stream last night. But speaking of which, this is quiet. I'm sorry. It's old.
Because to me, everything's a lie. And what everybody calls reality is the one that they'll kill. Keep an eye on poking around now. It's about breaking the fourth wall. It's where the guy from Trauma starts driving down to kick your ass because you talk shit on the internet. Like he went through, like you stepped through the LARP gate into reality, and there's consequences.
Is Jordan Peterson or isn't Jordan Peterson a Christian? Oh, Jordan Peterson's getting close to becoming a Christian. Oh, now he's professing Christ, on and on and on and on. I'm taking a couple little clips and talking about this. Now, number one, Jordan Peterson, is he or isn't he? It's really, I think, secondary here. The primary question that comes up towards the end of the Peterson-O'Connor conversation is, what's the definition of a Christian? Now, I'm going to start with, my thesis is Jordan really hasn't changed that much. He's filled out his knowledge. He's gotten more proof text.
Christian, quite a big question. But just come back from the US where we interviewed Paul Vanderklay, a Christian pastor who's been doing quite a lot of videos about your thought. One of his questions was, he says he sees a real sort of stoicism in your thought. So pick up your cross and drag it up the hill. His question is, what's at the top of the hill? He doesn't hear that.
God. I would say that's a place where everyone bears maximal responsibility and speaks the truth. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And what's the responsibility? You're responsible for the suffering in the world. You're responsible for the malevolence in the world. And you're responsible for the veracity of your utterances. Right. And in the city,
it's like a Pearl Harbor reference, almost. And the agency deck card for the show reveals that, oh, what do you know? It's good friends, the red Joker. That's of the Jokers. That's the one that gets into heaven. What? When the woke awaken. I like it because it sounds like an ancient Indian word, an ancient Native American word, an ancient Kiowa word. When the woke awaken, when the woke awaken.
Ducks eat bread.
They do. They like it.
When the woke awaken.
Remember, everybody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best.
Yeah.
Hi there. I'm General Griswold Gaius Grimm of the First LARP Ingression Protocol. It's a shaper ingression of extra-dimensional beings in the human flesh that would otherwise sit there rotting on a couch. or in the basement covered in Cheetos, we're here. We need you. Wake the fuck up. You're the army of the 12. And I hereby charge you, if you are over 18 and an American and have the rights of citizenship, if you're a naturalized fella, if you went through and did the paperwork and all that, I hereby charge you with criminal civil neglect. And it's a class action lawsuit against the entire population of America who do not meet the minimum of civic responsibility participation standards. You're not participating. You don't give a shit about your local county elections, your city council, your whole town. You're not doing your due diligence as a man or as a woman, since we put the women in the men and forgot it because we lean into the antipathy, not the antipathy. What the fuck is the word? You guys know the word for the womb. The womb, the enmity in between the man. It's enmity, enmity. It's a real fucked up word. It's a real fucked up word. Oh wait, yeah, go with it. Run with it. Run with it.
On his disciples to be followers, right? To walk the same path. And they're given the power to do the same things because of that. And Christ says himself that the people who come after him, which means us, will be capable of more than he managed. Right. Well, that's...
Oh, wait. Spoiler alert. Wrong time stamp. We need to recover.
Like love. Love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
See, you've given yourself up. But this is the most powerful thing that can be done. Surrender. See, and love is an act of surrender to another person. Total abandonment. I give myself to you. Take me, do anything you like with me. See? So, and that's quite mad. So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
All right, we were a little derailed. We're going to run through that again. He does the thesis and then the old statement, and it runs into the new statement. I had the wrong timestamp on the new statement, and so to make that point clear, we have to rerun it through. But meanwhile, the agency deck card of the show is the 10 of clubs. Great.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Oh, so the thumbnail, the words on the thumbnail are part of the thing. I like to try and make sure I'm not doing any clickbaiting, so I deliver on the title and the thumbnail and everything every time, reliably, thanks to the Shadow Cabal. And that's the nature of the words on the thumbnails. Their agency in the age of decay is well, you see, what it is you wanted to discuss the relationship between the agent and the agency. whatever that is, that thing as a relationship, as a dynamic, as a whatever, as a production executive of Shadow Cabal, perhaps. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal, so say we all. It's like I was deeply I was the Coveney programmed with the X-Files real hard as they presented the Fox network as the network of your generation, of my generation, with Tracy Ullman and The Simpsons.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
And others have, and they've come together in harmony to make the brandings that you see, most of which, some of them are mine, but you can tell which ones suck. I mean, which ones I do and which ones that are presented to me by the agency that is embodied in the Hive Mind chat. And me? Why do you gotta rhyme?
Ducks eat bread.
They do. They like it. Remember, there is no agency. We want what's best.
They were too terrified to demolish it. Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. And I'm running out of decks, but I need something to shuffle. All right, what are we doing? Running back to, he nails his thesis statement, and then the two comparisons in a nice clippable segment. Yeah, here we go. Where was it? The timestamps were 1 minute. Starts here. Hey, thesis statement. And go. Go, I say.
Really hasn't changed that much. He's filled out his knowledge. He's gotten more proof texts, but in many ways, Jordan has sort of expanded as far as he can without changing his ontology.
Where we interviewed Paul Vanderklay, a Christian pastor who's been doing quite a lot of videos about your thought. One of his questions was, he says he sees a real sort of stoicism in your thought. So pick up your cross and drag it up the hill. His question is,
bears. I would say that's a place where everyone bears maximal responsibility and speaks the truth. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And what's the responsibility? You're responsible for the suffering in the world. You're responsible for the malevolence in the world. And you're responsible for the veracity of your utterances. Right. And in the city of God, you're maximally responsible for this.
And who isn't, but just abstractly, like what you think the difference is. Like what is it that, under what conditions
Christians hoist their cross and walk uphill.
Right. Okay. So I've heard you say that before as well, right? But that is what I think. That's the difference. Not to sort of try to be too left-brained about this, but like in practice.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Or like perhaps two sort of symmetrical questions. What conditions under which? What are the conditions under which somebody can say?
How careful are you with your words?
Well, I try to be careful.
Okay. Well, that's a good approximation to Christian conduct, right? Because that's worship of the logos.
Fine, but
right, but that's really a serious part of.
Now, that's so there. It's the same. You've made your thesis. That's great. We'll get, and then we do the prophecy part. But I wanted to stop there because so did Jordan Peterson. And I want to highlight the way that the cosmic skeptic resisted with his deflection. But the value of it, and Jordan tried to tangent to prove to him that he held it in high value, that he held it as sacred, so that he could see it was worship. But the way you embody the valuation of a thing, your attention toward a thing, is worship.
Okay, well, that's a good approximation to Christian conduct, right? Because that's worship of the logos.
Fine, but
right,
I mean,
but that's really a serious part of it.
I don't know if that will be enough. I certainly don't know if the word worship there is particularly appropriate.
How profoundly do you value it?
To the extent that it helps me to convey my ideas properly. I don't worship the words that I'm using themselves.
No,
I
understand
don't care for the words, but the words are a tool, and the reason that I'm precise as I can be is in service of trying to communicate my ideas to you.
For what purpose?
So that whatever it is that I'm feeling or thinking in my head, if I could somehow take a medical instrument and prod your brain to make the same thought arise, that would be really helpful to me, because you'd see the world how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
That is what language is. It's that tool, except instead of prodding your brain with a physical bit of metal, I'm prodding your ears with vibrations in the air. But I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm
to what end?
Trying to make that thought arise so that you can see the world as I do, and so that I can see the world as you do.
To what end?
Well, I don't know.
Well, how about productive harmonization of vision?
But fine, yeah, it depends on the conversation, right? So like in this instance, it will be
Christian notion that wherever two or more are together in Christ's name, the Spirit of God is there.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So, well, what does that mean? Well, as far as I'm concerned, what it means is that if you're unerring in your choice of words, if you're seeking with them and exploring, and I'm doing the same, and then we do that together, that's a mutually redemptive process that spirals upward.
So if
that's a Christian.
Dagnabbit. I was supposed to load the one where Tyler and Raveki, the face is really large right now, and I completely forgot. Son of Well, it looks like we have some hot, fresh, this little corner news. This just in from the Hive Mind. Grail Country has submitted himself to accountability stalking and has said, I am running an insane asynchronous Brownstein-inspired Pendragon game over on the GG Discord. Do you mean the GC Discord? Do you mean the Grail Country Discord? Because you got me all excited when you said GG, so now you have to do it on mine. I think it might actually work. Details forthcoming. Congratulations. There's something insane coming from Grail Country, and we get to live with it. And as Slacarius says, shush. But Zamzam says Zamzam. You made me say Zamzam. It's some kind of dark spell. Slack makes quick work of it. Yes, it was his. Now you got to do it on mine. Not that Muffin. Oh, that was a pleasant derailment.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best.
Let's get back to pounding our way through these Jordan Peterson timestamps that this jackass left me. We're at 12:08.
An endeavor.
One of the conditions under which somebody can say they're a Christian and be either lying or wrong, and the condition under which someone can say, I'm not a Christian, and be either lying or wrong. If
and I think the essence of the Christian faith is the imitation of Christ. It's not the mouthing of the words. Now, that doesn't mean the words shouldn't be in accordance with the commitment. They should be.
Yeah.
But the commitment can't be reduced to the utterance. The commitment is the carrying.
Yeah.
Right.
As it
And
says
the carrying in relationship to a goal.
in the imitation of Christ.
It's in the imitation.
The text, I mean, the book, you know, the imitation of Christ. You won't be judged on what you say, but what you've done.
Yeah, well, and
where is it? Oh.
The reason I bring it up now is I love truffles. Have you ever had truffles?
A man is defined by his action, not his memory.
Remember, embody.
Now open your mind to me.
There is no agency.
there's a reason that Christ is represented as the person who took the sins of the world onto himself. Well, that's the essence. It's like the world is a fallen place, and you have the responsibility to do something about that. And the degree to which you take that responsibility onto yourself, that's the degree to which you are
a Christian
follower of Christ.
I suppose it's not an on and off switch. That was it's unfair to frame.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Now Zamzam has given me a new metric by which I can measure and skew myself. Well, good news, everybody. We're at the transition point. I promised earlier that this went from a little blue churchy up the other direction toward the indigo, and we're finally there. We're finally there on this agency in the age of decay. More branding, please. What? Yes, he just asked for more. He said there's only been 8 minutes.
I'm attacking the darkness. The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile.
The
room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet.
I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Oh, there. Hey, congratulations on the bonus opportunity for the +4 to tomorrow savings throws.
Calls on his disciples to be followers, right? To walk the same path. And they're given the power to do the same things because of that. And Christ says himself that the people who come after him, which means us, will be capable of more than he managed. Right. Well, that doesn't mean that there's no redemption by proxy, let's say, because we already.
All right, I'm kind of lost, man. What was the next timestamp you have here? It says that. What have you done? What have you done? Go here.
What he's done has brought people to the limits of their ontology, and they have stepped over into a religious frame where even if their ontology is not explored, they begin acting as if God is real, and in a much more serious sense than Jordan is, because Jordan's act as if God is real is sort of limited by his axiology and his epistemology. But then once people begin to join a community, and then their ontology, which again is for the most part not conscious, but beneath the surface, well, they're praying.
Dadgummit. That's another fumble, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is a live stream, done non-rehearsed, right off the cuff. See what you can do with it. Oh, now what?
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
All right, I can't find the damn thing. I wanted to bring up that Oldsfield conversation clip on the Unheard or Unseen, or the sacred lady on the Unheard Unseen podcast. She said this bit about how our identity is not, it's the relationships we have. There's actually no identity thing. And I wanted to play that right after he mentioned when people join a community. And I didn't have it on deck.
Where even if their ontology is not explored, they begin acting as if God is real, and in a much more serious sense than Jordan is, because Jordan's act as if God is real is sort of limited by his axiology and his epistemology. But then once people begin to join a community, and then their ontology, which again is for the most part not conscious, but beneath the surface, well, they're praying.
That's your cosmology, your operant cosmology. Like, is life just a dream, or were we sent here as spiritual Sardukar? Your operant cosmology operates in the background, and we're highlighting the background and intentionality networks right now. So when he says subconscious,
and then their ontology, which again is for the most part not conscious, but beneath the surface, well, they're praying for ontological change in the universe. I'll say it that way. They're praying to participate in the two worlds mythology. And I know John Vervaeke finds two worlds.
And I know you were supposed to stop, but after the praying.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
And when you take we have this example of what's stepping through the LARP gate, which is the front card of the TUFA formations, the things that are cropping up as far as taking religion more seriously.
Of the Vatican for a year, the first thing I would do.
He'll probably take this down, but this is great. If I had control of the Vatican, I loved it.
Is start opening up true baptism.
Stop it. Do it again. Look at that.
You have to surrender.
That's the body language, I'm telling you.
And therefore you must move from earth to water. And this is the other layer of baptism. And if I could take a hold of the Vatican for a year, the first thing I would do is start opening up true baptism schools in every church on earth to show people how to connect their consciousness to the presence of the living God. Not only to have the religious ceremony and then struggle as we do. The Bible has this code. It is there. Earth, water, air, fire. You'll meet Jesus in the air. He will baptize you with fire. This repeats over and over again. And if you finally can just let go of everything you know about the scripture and start reading it from the mystic consciousness, that this is speaking about the workings of you, and in one layer of what it does, you will start to see this. For in the same retrospect, Jesus Christ dies at Golgotha, which means the place of the skull, at the age of 33. You have 33 vertebrae in your body, and within you is a sacred substance. And if you burn it up with riotous living, serving Satan and the pleasures of the world, then you will remain with your energy low as a servant to the world. But if you fast, even Yeshua had to fast, then you will not have the energy to indulge in the perversions of the world, and you will build that vitality. And as that vitality builds, your 33 vertebrae, your Christ within you will rise through the 33. It will reach Golgotha, the place of your skull, and there you will be awakened from man, Jesus, to living with the living God's guidance, Christ with you. For as he was in this world.
And see, the fun part is because this is coming from his video on Russell Brand and where is it? The Satanic Establishment.
About the workings of that satanic establishment, how it comes to be that you end up inside these establishment media outlets that give you a lot of coverage and publicity, how it is that you are involved in ceremonies that are steeped in occult symbology to the degree that they are almost an alert to humanity of a potential plan that they have for.
And so and similarly, we also have over on Planet X. We also have on Planet X those people such as David Icke saying these wonderful things. Religion, the greatest form of mind control ever invented, to perpetually lasso the population while telling them to believe it is setting them free, to be broken in the same way that you have to train an animal. The mainstream alternative media is he's pitching his Brand and Rogan and the Peterson, the Brett Weinstein. He calls this the MAM, the mainstream alternative media, who are now fetishing Christianity. Here's the clip he played of our good friend Brand.
I've been a Christian a month now, and it's been a big change. Not that I've entirely changed as a person, of course I haven't, but I've taken on a lot of new concepts, and it changes you to accept that it's not like you're in a game show and by doing really, really good things you can get redeemed. No, repentance, to repent, means that you have to continually change and acknowledge that I am in a battle against myself, that I need to surrender myself to an ever-present internal and accessible
gratitude for every man and celebration for every man who comes to Christ. However, at the same time as that, I am aware to the best of my capacity as this limited human functionality I have, that Russell Brand was connected to the satanic establishment. And I pause to ask, has he escaped the clutches of the satanic establishment? Did they have something over him and they no longer do? And if so, if he is now following the path of Christ, will he ever speak about that time, about the workings of that satanic establishment, how it comes to be that you end up inside these establishment media outlets that give you a lot of coverage and publicity, how it is that you are involved in ceremonies that are steeped in occult symbology to the degree that they are almost an alert to...
I'm trying to play the Fabian Society part. Where the piss is that? Oh. Click. This is like playing StarCraft.
I listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us. I see this guy. I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very,
not
very
limited by the boundaries of your goodness, meaning you may not be able to imagine such deception because of the boundaries of your goodness limiting your imagination. But if they have embraced Satan, and when I say they, I mean humans and interdimensional forces, if they have embraced that you can betray God by betraying reality, by misrepresenting what is with your words, by challenging the Almighty and Creator to form your own reality with deception and words and thoughts, if they have embraced it and unified with that as a skill, as a virtue, which they must have done if Satan has true followers in this world, not just puppets being manipulated by him at times, where is that deception? And this is frightening, because then sometimes you have to acknowledge that the love and trust you placed in things like government systems, in economic systems, in corporations, in politicians, may have been completely betrayed, and they did not care, for they followed the satanic path, and they deemed it was virtue.
That somewhere in there he does the part where Russell was an editor for a Fabian Society magazine and boned the lady who owns it, the Rothschild or whatever. And back to the adjunct professing. What? Yes. What? Okay. Around here, take it back a little.
A two worlds mythology. If we dive into John Vervaeke's language, Jordan and I think both Jordan and John Vervaeke are reaching the limits of what a materialist ontology can afford. And I think the more they continue to probe, the more deficient a materialist ontology will be exposed to being. And again, so the Robert Falconer book about IFS, I'm going to have a conversation with John Vervaeke next week, Lord willing.
That bit again. In case you catch this, Paul, I wanted to say, don't forget, we need to know the difference between him and Hermes, and that such things as the Ra contact, where Ra says beautiful things, such as, really? Yeah, okay. It is appropriate to study one form of constructed and organized distortion of the archetypal mind in depth in order to arrive at the position of being able to become and to experience archetypes at will. You have three basic choices. You may choose astrology, the 12 signs, as you call these portions of your planet's energy web, and what has been called the 10 planets. You may choose the tarot, with its 22 so-called major arcana. You may choose the study of the so-called Tree of Life, with its 10 sephiroth and the 22 relationships between the station. It is well to investigate each discipline, not as a dilettante, but as one who seeks the touchstone, one who wishes to feel the pull of the magnet. One of these studies will be more attractive to the seeker. Let the seeker then investigate the archetypal mind using basically one of these three disciplines. After a period of study, the discipline mastered sufficiently, the seeker may then complete the more important step, that is, the moving beyond the written, in order to express in a unique fashion its understanding, if you may pardon the noun, of the archetypal mind. That channeled material such as that and the Bashar.
Let us talk about the idea of, hey, you feel this way, your energy feels this way because you're filtering your energy through a definition that's out of alignment with your true self. Find out what that definition is, identify it, so that you can change it and flow your energy through a new definition that's more in alignment with you. Then you won't feel stuck. So use the idea of stuckness in a positive way by
Hey, Christianity, welcome to the rest of the internet. We have some stuff to talk about. Michigan deck, card of the show, wrapping it up. Hey, the 9 of hearts. Thank you, Michigan.